So, after thinking about the challenges I've gone through in my life, they don't compare to the degree of misfortune my parents encountered. Yes, I've experienced stages of sadness, but they're minor situations that happen temporarily and what I consider emotional sensitivity. But I'm fortunate enough not to have been traumatized by severe situations thanks to my parents, and that's because they suffered so I wouldn't. My mom's upbringing is very sentimental due to so many challenges that happened to her at such a young age. Being raised in a small ranch in Mexico, far from any advanced cities that further limited opportunity. She is the oldest daughter out of eight siblings in total, but really it's seven since she lost a baby sister from illness, which meant she was held with the highest responsibility as the second mother, which means making food, feeding the animals, taking her siblings to school, washing everybody's clothes by hand, etc. So every time my siblings neglected the food she would make us, she'd remind them how she faced starvation and could only afford to eat once a day since there was a lot of them. And the work overload would be so much that she had to sacrifice school to help my grandma with duties, so she stopped attending school at 15. And they lived in utter poverty in a small house made of unstable material and shared two bedrooms. So during seasons like winter or summer, it was a nightmare to sleep in the excessive cold or heat, sharing two beds made of hard wood or sticks with one blanket. And as she got older, she realized she couldn't make a life living in an environment where girls would just get married at a young age and have kids without reaching their full potential or other goals. And that's when she left her ranch and worked in Matamoros, which is near the border. But little did she know that would be the last time ever returning, because when she got there, she worked as many jobs as she could, such as a babysitter, selling tacos, and a cashier, barely earning enough and sending most of her funds to her parents. Needless to say, she was optimistic to see what doors of opportunity would open for her and did not regret her decision because she knew that if she were ever to have kids, that they wouldn't know what suffering felt like. And being 18 in a different state without her family brought feelings of isolation and displacement, but she kept striving for a better future. Later, she was able to get a job in a better company that granted her a visa to travel to the US. And then she arrived to Houston and got an apartment working three jobs while learning English and facing discrimination. But she overlooked them and focused on her vision. And that's when she met my dad working as a waitress, and the rest is history. My dad's story is similar in the way he was raised by a single mom and later relocated to the US in hopes of achieving the American dream. They're now not only great parents, but business partners, ambitious for growth, who have prospered from their hard work, and they have given me everything they desired to have growing up, and it is them whom I admire. I know this is a typical immigrant story, but it really touches my heart knowing that they went through so much hardship just to get to where they are today.